Hey everybody. I wanted to talk about your virtual lab or observations that you made from the physics aviary activity. Thank you guys for doing that, and thank you for your observations. I wanted to have a video just kind of demonstrating a different approach to it, but hopefully summarize the activity with this, and then also on whiteboard looking through the results, that graph that had the slope to a peak, then it dropped down, and then it had this nice steady, I guess you'd call it force, that went along. So I want to do this activity, and then I want to correlate it to that graph. So what I've got, instead of a block and a force meter pulling along, what I'm going to do is, without shaking, I'm going to lift this table up. Now what that should do should be triggering your mind, force of gravity is down. As I tilt it up, the force gravity that has an influence parallel to this surface increases. So the higher I lift this, right, the greater the force, okay? Now as you observe this block, it's just one of our weights from class, as I lift it up, it's not moving, but the force of gravity parallel is increasing. And increasing and increasing, the higher or the greater the slope that I have. So let's see if I can do this without shaking. No, I can't. Okay. Now, at some point in time, this thing's going to move, right? So you should be visualizing that graph. Force is increasing, but it's not moving, okay? There's going to be a peak at which it starts to move, okay? Now I'm just going to get really close to that peak. There it is. Get there. All right, get there, get there. Right, now we're really close. Okay, so let's see if I can stop it. Now if you noticed, that horizontal force was when the object started moving, or that one that was nice and steady. Right, now I got it close to its peak. I should be able to give this a little nudge to go over the peak and get this moving, and it should stay moving. Oh, please work. Demo, please work. Then I should be able to stop it, and it should stay. Okay. That means that force hasn't exceeded the peak until I give it a nudge, okay? And then we'll keep going. So what's that mean, okay? What's that mean? There are actually two types of friction, okay? The stationary friction, that friction force that's keeping it still, we call that static friction. And then there's a type of friction, now if I exceed this, right, there's another type of friction that's called, like, moving friction, right? Friction, once it started moving, it stays constant. That's called kinetic friction, okay? So, two types of friction from that activity, all right? And I'll go up to that diagram, and we'll kind of see those two types of friction. And then I'm actually going to take the data that you got and graph it to see if we can come up with any conclusions, all right? So there's going to be 3 videos for this. This is your intro. I'll go to the graph, and then we'll look at some numbers and kind of summarize, right? Summarize our unit on friction, okay? Talk to you soon.